Hello friends, myself Sachin Bhardwaj and I'm here to present you with the Indian economy's performance in the last financial year, that how did our economy perform vis-a-vis the other developing and developed economy of the world. Let's talk about the external sector, the whole global economic environment we encounter in the last financial year. We talk about the global economic environment. One important positive outcome in 2015 was the modest pickup in the growth in some of the advanced economies. It might be recalled that after failing in 2009 due to 2008 global financial crisis, growth in emerging and developing economies rebounded in 2010 and 11. So in its latest World Economic Outlook, that is WEO, which was updated and published in 19th January 2016, the IMF has projected the growth in the global economy to go up from 3.1% in 2015 to 3.4% in 2016. That means and again they predicted that it will again further go up to 3.6% in 2007. So this shows that world economy is almost back on the track, and it is increasing every year, like 3.1% from 2015 to 3.4% in 2016 and so on. So let's talk about the India's mercantile trade in last year. The rapid and over threefold rise in India's mercantile export from last $100 billion prior to the 2005-6 to over $300 billion US dollars in 2011-12. So we can see a three-bound increase in our export, in our mercantile export from the period from 2005 to 6. So this growth, this was composed of rather it was a high growth in exports of petroleum, oil and lubricants which we export to the other countries, and as well as this was a rise, this was an increase which was marked in non-POL exports. That means the exports other than petroleum, oil and lubricant exports. That shows that imports grew in some period at a faster clip, and the levels of mercantile trade deficit went up. In the same period, the economic survey wants to suggest that the level of mercantile trade deficit, that means our imports minus exports, they kept on rising. Since late 2015 or from almost December 2014, India's mercantile export have been declining continuously. हमारे exports कम हुए थे from last December 2014 we are talking about. Developed and developing economies दोनों ने ही they felt that there is a fall in exports as a result of why a subdued economic conditions world over. There were some problems which were faced by various economies, and as a result the export world over was falling. So we are talking big terms over here, that trade, mercantile trade deficit and all. Let's understand the terminology as well, that what is trade deficit before going into its present status and all the other things. What is trade deficit? The trade deficit is an economic measure of a negative balance of trade in which a country's imports exceeds its export. So the term which is worth remembering here, that our imports are more than our exports. So a trade deficit represent an outflow of the domestic currency to the foreign markets. Reason being, हमारे exports कम हैं, हमें imports ज़्यादा करना है, तो इन imports के बदले में we have to pay them. So whatever we earn from our exports plus हमें अपनी सेविंग्स या अपनी इकोनॉमी में से एक्स्ट्रा पैसा देना पड़ेगा उन imports के बिल्स को चुकता करने के लिए. And moreover, India's trade deficit increased almost steadily from $28 billion in 2004 to 118.6 US dollars in 2010-11. So हमारा increase हो रहा है, trade deficit continuously increase हो रहा है as our the chunk of our export is increasing, chunk of our imports are increasing. So as like them, our trade deficit is also increasing every year. So how it grew? It grew exponentially and to reach the unsustainable levels of 183.4 billion US dollars. 183.4 बिलियन हो गया था नेक्स्ट 2 years में, बट ये वापस कम आया. However, it came back to 135.8 billion US dollars. Why? Because government was paying heed that it was a government concern that our trade deficit was going out of our hands. So they contain our trade and they try to balance the current account deficit. In fact, in 2014-15, the trade deficit was marginally higher, that around 137.7 US dollars, 137.7 billion US dollars. I'm sorry. So now our trade deficit that continued to be at a lower level. Why it is at lower level? Due to the decline in the value of these products, petroleum, oil and lubricants, and this the import of POL is actually declined by the 16%. Why it is declined? Reason being it declined because of caused by fall of international oil prices, because international oil prices are almost shunned down by 20.2%, and the trade deficit can decompose in POL and non-POL. हमारा ट्रेड डेफिसिट दो चीज़ों की वजह से कम हुआ है. आई एम ट्राइंग टू से दैट on the one hand we are having POL based imports, and on the other hand we are having non-POL imports. So POL imports तो कम हुए ही हैं, हमारे non-POL imports पर भी हमने लगाम कसने की कोशिश की है. अब जैसे हम बात करें कि POL imports जो हैं हमारे, they were our main component of our trade deficit. Where these POL trade deficit were around 100 billion US dollars from the period 2011-12 to period 2013-14. अब ये कितना हो गया? This is almost 81.5 billion US dollars in 2014-15, and it was further declined to 44.2 billion US dollars in 2015-16. लेकिन अगर हम नॉन POL डेफिसिट की बात करें, विद इन नॉन POL डेफिसिट, हमने जेम्स और ज्वेलरी डेफिसिट को कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश की है. वाई? आप यहाँ पे फिगर देख सकते हैं कि ये कंटिन्यूसली 17 बिलियन पर डिक्लाइन होता हुआ अब यहाँ पे मात्र 21.1 बिलियन पर आ गया है. वी पुट the certain measures like import duty on gold and other things, so we were able to control the non-POL deficit as well. So let's talk about the trade policy. What are the trade policy measures that India took in the recent times? So as you are aware that in the wake of declining exports, the government took various measures to boost exports in their budget of 2015-16, and a new foreign trade policy in fact was introduced. So the new FTP for the period 2015-20 was announced on 1st of April of 2015, and it focused on supporting both manufacturing and as well as service exports, and it tries to improve the ease of doing business in India. So what are the recent measures for trade facilitations? The government has reduced the number of mandatory documents which are required for the export and imports to 3 each. That you only need 3 documents if you want to have a license for export and import purpose. And this is actually within the standards and within the trend like the international benchmarks. So the trade community now can file application even online for various trade related schemes. Second, what they did the custom single window initiative. What this window? They the Union Budget of 2015, they announced that Indian Custom will now have a single window project to facilitate the trade. The project, this project will envisage that the importers and the exporters will electronically submit their custom clearance documents, and at a single point, that too at a single point, so they need not to go and roam around here and there for the getting a single clearance. Third, they started a 24/7 custom clearance. And then this clearance scheme will affect from the 31st of December 2015, and in fact on the specified imports it has already been started. Now they say that attention has also been paid to simplifying various ayat niryat forms, so bringing in the clarity in the different provisions, removing the ambiguities and enhancing the electronic governance. In fact, the Directorate General of Foreign Trade, what you call DGFT, they have launched a new look sort of website. Then they made it more user friendly and easy to navigate, in fact. Now, moreover, the DGFT launched the DGFT mobile application in June 2015. What this application do? This application allows these exporters or importers to access foreign trade policy and other related documents which are easy to use, and they are in more searchable format, and even they can check the status of transmission of various authorizations and shipping bills, etc. So that is it for the current lecture, and thank you for watching this lecture. We will be coming again with you second part of this lecture. Till then, do visit our website www.decipheris.com, and you may like our Facebook page for more such lectures and articles on so much stuff which would be relevant for your UPSC and other state or other provincial examinations, competition examinations. Thank you, bye bye, and take care.